you are in the world. My
Good
name is,
morning.
yeah, my name is Alice Trevorrow. I'm a spiritual medium and psychic, and I'm also the producer and host this evening, or today, wherever you are again. This goes globally, so I'm welcoming you all to come along and enjoy a lovely chat that we're going to have today with Tanya O'Shea. I nearly said O'Leary there. I don't know why. Tanya O'Shea. Okay. And she's from Ireland. So Tanya is a spiritual medium. She's also a psychic as well, and she's got over 10 years of experience in this movement. But she's also a certified Reiki master, a sound practitioner, and she offers all this spiritual comfort and guidance through our lovely spirit world to anyone who comes along for readings. And I'm going to find out just a wee bit more about Tanya's journey onto how she got doing what she's doing. So Tanya, you know, it's great to have you on the show. There's a few hiccups getting on here, but we're here now, aren't we? You know,
We find it great,
yeah. So computer technology. Well, hey, you know, tell us, you know, you've been in this, you've been doing this for 10 years. So, where did it start for you?
Like people always kind of ask me, did I always see spirit, or was I like as a child, would I have seen anything or had messages? And I actually didn't, to be honest. I always had like a real strong interest in the angels, and I would have always
Mm-hmm.
read books about angels, like when I was kind of 15, 16. And like I remember my friends always being like, you're so easy to buy for because we could get you incense and like an angel book and you'd be so happy. So
Yeah.
I would have kind of probably felt um peace when I thought about the angels, but I only opened up to spirit world I'd say when I had my first child, Jacob. I was 21 and I would have struggled a lot in that pregnancy. And just around that time in my life, it was what I would know now as a spiritual awakening. But back then, I just thought everything was falling apart. And like that, through the hard times that I was going through, spirit world kind of came in. And when they came
Mm-hmm.
in, I didn't know what to do with it. It was like the floodgates opened, and I've never had messages before. So I kind of really didn't know how to control it, if that makes sense. Like I was getting a lot of messages all the time. I was kind of picking up on things. I think people thought that I'd lost the plot altogether. I think I did at times as well. Um, but I picked up tarot cards to help me to channel what I was getting, or to help me to make sense. And I suppose the psychic ability would have opened up at that time as well. So everything kind of happened
Yeah.
all together when I was 21. And from there on, I just kind of ran with it. I loved it. It's what led me into the Reiki and stuff like that as well. And I find that every time I do another healing modality like Reiki or sound healing, it brings me that little bit closer to spirit world. That's what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of love to connect with spirit for people, because I just see the joy that people get when they hear from their loved ones, like the comfort and the peace that it brings. So I'm so happy to be a bridge between the worlds whenever I can be. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into it.
Okay. Yeah. So, Tanya, how do you work with Spirit World then? Do you do private readings or what happens? What do you do?
Yeah, so I do private readings. I would more so do healings. I find with the healings, I always explain to people that when I do a healing, I would always use cards, and call them like a window into the soul for what's coming up for your healing at that time. And spirit would
Yes.
love to come in through a healing. Yeah, so we would work with the secret cards and to
Yes.
see maybe what's coming up. And then I
Yeah.
would also get them to pick another card and spirit would come in. But with readings, how I would work is I do them online, and I would blend the cards with mediumship. I would always open up to spirit first. So I sit and I can never promise, you know yourself, you can never promise that spirit is going to come in. So I think I like to have the cards there just in case they might not, but 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, they will come in.
Yeah.
and I would just give the information that I'm getting. But how I would pick up on spirit is always different. So for me, it's quite nerve-wracking
Yeah.
because
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
you know, the way
Every
you
time
don't
you
see,
work with,
yeah, it's hard. Like, you don't see them standing in front of you the way you or I. So it can be very nerve-wracking to put yourself out there, I think, as a medium sometimes, because you're going with what you feel and you have to trust what you're sensing. You know what I mean? But no, when I offer readings, they would be done online, but the energy is the same, and spirit can come in and give messages, and then psychic ability. That's, I think, where the cards come in, because we're going into the past, present, future. But I find it all blends really well together with the mediumship and the psychic ability with the cards and stuff like that.
yeah. Yeah, I can understand that as well, because
Yeah,
I'm a spiritual medium, and I also work with my angel cards,
yeah,
but also, I don't need to work with my angel cards, but because you can do mediumship reading solely, without cards, but I
mm,
add that as an addition when I'm doing private readings, because I
yeah,
feel it helps a little bit more for the client as well, because they like angel cards, and spirit work with me through the guidance of whatever
yeah,
gets picked on the angel cards. It's not psychic because I'm still working with spirit world, and I never
yeah,
lose contact with them. So I can understand what you mean by that.
yeah,
And I think, everybody works differently, Tanya. There is no wrong or right, as long as we're working with honesty, integrity, and with love, and we're bringing in that evidence of spirit world, and then collaborating that with the spiritual guidance, then yeah, we're
yeah,
doing the job that spirit are asking us to do.
yeah,
So
100%.
yeah. So do you do platform demonstrations as well, Tanya?
I've not done much platform. I love to watch it, but I'm very
Yeah,
nervous doing it.
yeah.
But I did one recently enough, a couple of months ago, with another amazing medium that I know, Leslie Deegan, and now I was really, really nervous before it, but it was an amazing night. And I think, it's kind of one of those things when you're going to do a platform, you feel like you're standing at the edge of the cliff and you're getting pushed. And you don't know whether you're going to fall or fly. But if spirit just come in, they have a really good way of not letting you flop. They just come in and take
Yeah.
over, and it was lovely. And I love to watch platform mediumship. I'd be fascinated. I'm still fascinated with mediumship, and I don't think I ever won't be fascinated, because it is incredible to think that
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
vibrating just a little bit higher, and all we need to do is just rise up and meet them where they are. You know what I mean? To bring them in.
Mhm.
So it's lovely.
Yeah, that's right. Because their energy is much stronger than our energy, and
Yeah.
they've got to lower their vibration, their energy to try and meet ours. But sometimes
Mm.
it can hit in, and maybe the balance
It can
is
be
not
very
quite right,
strong. Yeah.
but it is beautiful, and you never work the same way, and that's a good thing. It's exciting as well, because you don't know who you're going to bring through from spirit world, because
Mm.
everybody that you work with is completely different, and also their energy as well. What challenges have you came? What challenges would you say perhaps that you've faced? I know I've had many.
Oh, so many. I
Yeah,
think trust in my own self. I think trust would 100% be. It's a very hard thing to sometimes know what you're feeling is not yours. It's not your, like, you have to separate the two.
yeah,
I think
that's right.
that's what it is. It matters. The other person's energy really matters, and I think, the way you hear things about mediums, like, oh, she's not a good medium, she couldn't read this person, she couldn't do this. But I think everybody has to take responsibility for their own energy on the day. And I
Hmm.
think you can only read or give a reading if the person is open to it as well. And it's really, really hard. So that's the challenge for me. If a person
Hmm.
doesn't believe but still wants you to connect for them, and it can be really challenging. So I always just say, come with an open mind and an open heart and see what happens.
Yeah,
And 95% of the time people are there because they want to be there, but that's a challenge for just, I think, trust what you're getting, and then the other person being open to receive as well. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. You're
Yeah.
you're kind of coming and going a little bit. There's a little bit of echoing going on, but
Sorry.
hopefully
I'll
you
sit
know,
back
people
here and
can,
see.
yeah, people can still
Yeah.
hear you, but there is definitely a lot of echoing going on. So hopefully people can hear you, and yeah, okay. You know, you just, it's energy as well with computers, isn't it? You know, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it just be so strong.
everything's
Yeah,
energy.
nothing down. Yeah,
Everything is
100%.
energy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, to touch back on that as well. Have you done your own training, or have you went for training, or how, or Spirit been training you? How has it worked for you?
Yeah, I have done a lot. To be honest, I find great peace in any training that I do. Like, I when I like, and I'm not
Okay.
sure
No,
look,
I'm not hearing you properly, Tanya. Sorry. I'm
I'm
not
gonna
hearing
change
you.
rooms and just see if it works better.
Yeah, I'm not hearing you properly. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Hang on, I'll
Yes.
change in here. Is that any
Yeah.
better here now?
Yeah, it's a bit better. Yeah, it's a bit
Okay.
better. I can
Sorry,
hear
it's
you there.
probably the location where I am.
Yeah, that's fine. I know that's it. Energy,
I know.
location. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it all matters. But yeah, I done Reiki 1. Like I think when I was 22, and I absolutely loved the peace that I got on that weekend. And ever since that, I've been not chasing that peace, but I love to invest in myself. So when I done Reiki 1, I would have probably been going deep into my own stuff and ancestral healing and all that kind of stuff. And it brought up a lot for me. And I done Reiki 2 in short succession of that. So I found like what I realized is that when you're healing, it's not all love and light. Sometimes it brings up the heavy stuff, and we have to be willing to face the shadow part as well.
Mhm.
But I did, and I think as I kind of went along with different types of training, I waited years to do the Reiki level 3 because I didn't really feel ready, to be honest. So I think I waited like 8 years to go on and
Mhm.
do the level 3, which was the masters. And I
Yeah.
have done Rahani healing. It's just not something that I would practice all the time because you know the way you connect better with some things and not others.
Yes.
So I would have done a lot of mediumship courses, you know, like 1 day kind of courses. And I did do trans mediumship with a guy called Chris Ratter, and I think he's incredible. But I was only able to attend one full weekend because life threw stuff up at me. But
Mhm.
I was fascinated. I was fascinated at the trans healing and trans mediumship. So it's something that I would definitely like to
Mhm.
maybe delve back into when the timing is right.
Yeah.
But with regards to mediumship, I think meditation has to be key to being a good medium. I think you have to be able to connect with your own soul before you can connect for others. So that's
That's
one of the
right.
biggest things that I've probably taken from all the training that I would have done over the
That's
years.
right. And plus, it's an
Yeah,
ongoing thing as well. We constantly have to keep working on ourselves. Because if you don't, you'll
yeah,
find you'll get very stuck in your mediumship, you know, because there's
yeah,
so much baggage that you or myself would have that would prevent
mhm,
us from moving forward. You know, it's an ongoing
yeah,
process where you have to kind of go back into some of the shadows that are deep, you know, and bring it to the surface.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
not easy, but it's also something that's done in stages. But it doesn't matter,
yeah,
it doesn't all have to be done at once, as long as it's happening, you know, because
yeah,
if we don't work on ourselves, then how can we then be that instrument and that power for spirit world, you know, because we're not completely clear energy ourselves. So yeah,
yeah. I
I do
agree
believe
with
that.
all of that.
I do
Yeah,
believe
me too.
that. Yeah. So where you stay in Ireland, is there much that goes on there, or is it not a lot of a kind of spiritual churches or anything like that there?
With regards to the spiritual churches, I wouldn't say there's not a lot, but there's not a lot in the area that I am that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I haven't really kind of come across one locally. There would
No.
be not a lot of development groups around the area. Like it's something that as a medium that I really struggled with because sometimes I think I just want to go and sit in a circle of
Yeah.
mediums
Mm-hmm.
just to practice, just to keep the line open, just to
Mm-hmm.
keep it going because like but there's a lot around and to be fair, I wouldn't be confident enough to step out and do something like that. But I always say, like, it would be great if there was, because there's a lot of people that are actually really in tune with spirit. They just don't realize that that's what it is. They maybe
Yeah.
think that it's just their intuition, or they think that they're not getting signs, but they're not getting the signs the way they maybe think they should be getting them. And I do wish that there was a little bit more in North Dublin for mediumship. I think even across the whole of Dublin, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that's why when the likes of Chris Barter was coming here, I was delighted. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So I definitely think we need more of it in Dublin at the minute, for sure.
Yeah, and there definitely is a spiritualist church though in Dublin, because I worked there for a few years, doing demonstrations in the church, but I don't know how far that would be from where you are.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be in the city centre. We do have a place called the SCI, the Spiritual University. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I have actually never been there, would you believe? But I have heard so much about it, and I was invited to do something with another lady. Actually, she had her on the show. So we were planning on doing something there soon, but I haven't been. But it's a great place. It's just not close to me, but it's a great place for
Yes,
mediumship. Yeah,
it's
to
certainly
stand
not
up
close
and
to me. But I have family in Ireland, and and I have done a
lovely.
few over there. But yeah, it's all about locality as well, isn't it? And also timing.
That's it.
Time.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
like it's not always going to be on your doorstep, and I suppose you do kind of
No.
have to make the most of what you have as such. But
Mhm.
no, like as far as development groups for mediumship, it's actually quite people need encouragement to step into that space, because everybody thinks you really need to be pushed. So I think you need somebody who really understands what they're doing to be able to hold that space. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think though, you've got to be ready as well.
Yeah.
Um, some people are
Yeah.
scared of it. We know there's nothing to be scared of, but for but anyone listening, there's a lot of people that are, I don't know if you've had some funny stories, but I had a funny story. I was having an event, and I booked some caterers to come, and this lady came in, lovely lady, and there was there was a gentleman and another two ladies with her, but they seemed to be going really fast, running in and out, putting stuff down. And I said, no, there's no rush. Don't worry about it. There's no rush. But she just had her head down, and she was just, kind of hash bashing, putting everything down, running about. And I thought, it's all right, I'm not in any rush. And she said to me, that's everything, that's it all done. I said, well, I'll pay you just now then. No, it's all right, I'll get it later. She said, I'll get it later, because my husband knew her, and I'll get it off your husband. It's fine. I need to go. She said, and I'll not be taking anything with me, will I, when I leave? They won't be coming in the car with me. And that's why she was rushing. That's why she was rushing about. They were all rushing about. Oh, I did laugh.
God.
I did laugh, and I said, "No, you're all right, honestly." Oh, are you sure? And I said, "Yes, absolutely."
I get that too. I mean, nanny, my dad's mum. So she, anytime I knock at the door, she says, you're not going to tell me I'm going to die, are you? And I'm like, no.
Oh, no.
What do you think? And I'm like, no, I don't know when that's going to happen. Only God knows. But she just be laughing at me. But I really do understand that there's so much.
Yeah,
isn't
it's funny. Yeah, it's quite funny.
Yeah.
But I can still see her face, and I can still see the fear in her eyes, and then when she's seen that, I just couldn't stop laughing. She realized there's absolutely nothing to be frightened of. There's nothing to worry about. But
no. And they say it's the living you should be afraid of, not the dead.
Yeah. In saying that, though, have you had any spiritual experiences? Have you had anything at all? Any spooky experiences?
Yeah, I've had loads. I remember years ago, I don't actually think I really told many people about this one, but years ago I was going through a really, really hard time. Something came up and it was very, very heavy, very hard. And I remember thinking that there's nothing, like everything that I had believed in, I was like, I don't believe in it anymore, because why would this be happening if that
Mhm.
was the case? So I called out to my granddad, to my mum's dad in spirit, and I was like, you're not helping me. I was crying. I was like, you're not here, you're not helping me, basically. And it started to materialize like in a blue light in the bedroom. It was like the outline of his short.
Mhm.
That was all it was. It wasn't the trousers, wasn't the head, wasn't the feet. It was just the short started to kind of come in like a blue light, and I could physically see it. And then it just
Yeah,
left,
a
and I
blue
was like,
light
oh my
of a
God,
shirt.
it's there. It shouldn't be given out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry, Tanya. Did you say a blue light looking like a shirt? Is that what
of
you
his
said?
short that he would have.
All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So like I seen it, but to be honest, um, I would always see colours around people. Like I've
Yeah.
always seen it from my 20s. I'd see lights, like little twinkles, um, sometimes blue, sometimes gold.
Mhm.
Or I might see like a flash of colour, like purple light, green light.
Yeah.
No, for sure, obviously.
Mhm.
But I think it's
Yeah.
spirit close to them. And it's just letting me see it in a physical form of
Yeah.
energy. Do you know what I mean?
I, yeah, I agree because
Um, but
I
no,
see
I've had lovely experiences, like
yeah, I
a lot
agree.
of filler.
I see lots as well, lots of
Yeah,
sparkles, and that's why I called. I always have seen sparkles of light, and I've also seen real bright light that would light up a room and go off. Um,
yeah.
and that's the reason why I called the show Sparkle of Light. So because of
I love
that.
the name. Yeah, because I would see that too. And it's a
Yeah,
lovely depiction of spirit. Like spirit are light, they're light energy. So
yeah,
there's nothing to fear, as you said, there's nothing to be
no,
afraid of. Yeah,
no.
people just
I,
are there. I had another experience with a lady that I didn't know very well, but in chatting to her one day, there was like it was like an inferno of fire behind her, but it was pink. The energy was pink, and I never seen anything like it. And I
mhm,
couldn't stop looking at her. I was like, what does that mean? I didn't know what it meant.
mhm,
And I thought maybe with pink for the heart, pink for love. But it turns out that the girl was struggling a lot with her mental health. And then when I was doing my sound healing, the lady was saying that if there's like there's too much energy, it's coming up from like, the higher chakras. And
mhm,
it made so much sense to me because she was suffering really badly in her mind. So to see that energy, it kind of gave me an insight into if, the chakra is over spinning,
mhm,
there's too much going on there. I would have not understood any of that. I just thought it was amazing to see. But
mhm.
everything is energy, and there's so much going on in the auric field that we don't even realize, I think.
No, that's right. That's right. And in this lifetime as well, we will never understand it all, you know. We'll only
Yeah.
understand what we're allowed to
You have to
understand.
sometimes accept that
Yeah,
you don't.
yeah. And
Yeah, exactly. Mm.
everybody's understanding and levels of understanding will be completely different, to what we take with us when we do cross over to
Yeah,
the afterlife, you know. Yeah, it is very
yeah,
interesting.
I agree.
It is interesting. Yeah, I've had quite a few spiritual experiences as well, and I think though, it's their way of also saying to you, we want to work with you, you know, and they will show you the signs. They will give you signs
Yeah,
in many forms, and I think some of the things that happen, you've got to say this is not coincidental, this is definitely a sign, and I need to take
yeah.
notice to this, So have you had any signs like that you've thought, oh, that is definitely a sign, I need to listen to this?
Yeah, I suppose learning especially over the last few years, like I'm 33 now and I have 2 children, and I would trust my gut a lot for other people, but not really myself. It's like I
Yeah.
have to learn the hard way, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've ignored gut feelings, and I would get very strong gut feelings. And this is what I'm saying when I say it doesn't have to be a really flashy sign in your face. Sometimes it can be your own gut telling you, don't do this, or this is not for you.
That's
And
right.
to follow them feelings that you know, because when you honor them, you end up avoiding sticky situations and situations that could have led you really astray. And I'm starting to only really kind of learn that for myself now, if that makes sense. Whereas before I would have been always confused. My gut would have been always kind of tense and worried. And the more I relax, the more I kind of sense what's good for me and what's not good for me. And just being able to trust your own gut, I suppose. But I did have I remember years ago I was working in a shop in town in the city centre, and there was contracts coming up, and I remember thinking I really wanted a contract for this job because everybody was getting let go and I didn't want to leave. So
Yeah.
the boss came over to talk to me, and she was like, are you in college? What are you doing? But I got this really strong, like warm energy over the whole side of me, and I just felt it was my granddad. And when he kind of stood beside me, she said, I'm going to get you a contract and I'm going to keep you on. So things like that, I'm like, you know, when you get your little tingles and you get your, you know, the spirit is with you
You
and they're
just know.
guiding you.
Yeah.
You just know. You just know. Yeah, it's lovely,
Yeah.
it is. And I have to say, I do always feel very lucky because people always ask me, like, what do you see? What do you get? And I know that everybody wants, well, not everybody, but most people want to feel that. And I am so glad that I am open to it because I get a lot of comfort from it as well. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
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 Well,
Lovely it
where
is.
would to envisage yourself, where would you kind of like to be with it all? You know, I know that's not always the case, but is it more readings you want to do, or have you got a plan of maybe wanting to do more learning even? You know,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Definitely more learning. With regards to the mediumship, I'd like to delve a little bit more into trance mediumship.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I find it very, I don't know, I find it very special. It's like, it's very deep. And when I was doing it, I felt vibrationally, I felt like I was after going to a whole new plane. And that was only one weekend. So I can imagine if I was to continue with it, it would bring about great gifts for me. But I've started in the last year, girl. I started it is
Sorry, I've lost
um
you there. I've lost you.
sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah,
Yeah. I had my little girl, she's 3. So when she was born, I wanted to do sound healing. I felt very drawn to sound.
yeah.
Um, created a soul circle. So soul circle, um, circle with some soul. So everybody gets a little question that throw out for to
I'm
check in with it.
I'm not hearing you very well, Tanya. Sorry, darling. I'm not
No,
hearing you
no,
very well.
okay. I'll try this round. It's this house.
Yeah.
Um, can
Yeah, if you can just
can you hear
repeat
me?
that. I'm not hearing that very well.
When I had my little girl, I
Uh-huh.
decided to try and sound 1, 2, and 3 quickly.
Uh-huh.
And I created a soul circle. So the soul circle, they're going really well, and they
Okay.
just
Soul
consist
cycle.
of soul
Okay.
questions. Yeah, yeah. So we'd have the mandala cloth in the middle, and we'd have crystals and cards
Mm-hmm.
and affirmations and um soul questions that I would write out myself. So what I would do is introduce myself to the group, and everybody gets a question. And I always say you get what you need. And I'd go around and let everybody read out their questions and their answers. And sometimes it gets emotional and it's beautiful. And then we would do a little sound healing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give everybody a chance to see what came up for them or how they felt. And then at the end, I would pass on any messages if spirit was with anybody, let's say, because sound is a really strong bridge to bring spirit in. So as soon as I start playing the gong or the bells, spirit are straight in. They're straight in with their people. So it's a lovely way to blend healing,
Yeah.
self-care and mediumship all together. And it's a really safe space, I think, So that for me is something that I'd like to push on with in the future, along with sound bats and stuff. But the mediumship, there's always an undertone of mediumship in everything that I do. But I probably wouldn't say that I just stand out as a medium on my own. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I
Sound
do love.
sound is good.
Sorry.
Sound is good, and sound healing is good. You know, I've been in had a sound bath healing, and it was very good. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
No, I'm losing you. I
Oh,
don't know
sorry.
if the listeners can hear you, but I'm losing you. Yeah.
Can you still hear me now or no?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Sorry, it's hit and miss. But
Yeah.
yeah, the sound works with the elements. So it works with earth, air, fire, and water. And obviously it's all connected to the chakras. And I find the sound healing is the deepest type of healing that I've ever been able to like hold a space for. So I really think you have to be ready for sound as well. But like that, with the sound healing, your guides are straight in. You can feel them. The spirit loved ones are straight in, and it's a very deep, kind of ancestral kind of healing energy is what I feel from sound. It's lovely though, and it really helps to take you to maybe a more harmonious vibration. So maybe things might kind of fall apart after sound healing, but they'll come back together better. That's what I always try and tell people as well. So don't fear any changes that come up with sound healing, because it's only clearing the path. It's not there to wreck your life or anything like that.
Yeah.
And some people get nervous, yeah. But it's lovely. So that I'd like to push on with the circles. The mediumship I'd like to probably develop a little bit more in. I think you're only as good as the amount of time that you've kind of worked on yourself. So for that, that's what I'd like to do going forward.
You're actually only as good as your last message.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
in your last demonstration as well, because you could have a good demonstration, or you could have a good reading with somebody, and then the next day it could be completely the opposite. And it's not to say, and it's definitely not Spirit's fault. It's it's to do with the energy as well. It's to do with the energy. It could be the energy of the room, because if an energy is really low in a room, it's very, very difficult to raise that if people are not wanting it to be raised, so, and yet you could do a demonstration somewhere else and the energy is really good and it's a great demonstration, and you leave feeling you've done the job well for spirit world. You leave in a high, actually,
You leave on a high,
when but when you're working though, in a demonstration and the energy is really flat and really low, you have really got to go for the depths of your soul and scream out to spirit world to help you. You really do. Yeah.
And I think as well, when I'm working with spirit, another thing that I have learned is that you have to ask them as well. Like, I know they can, pick up on thoughts and feelings and stuff like that, but you really do have to ask if you want. So if you want a clear message or strong communication, you have to say, show me clearly, because sometimes I get a lot of split links with spirit. So like, like two people coming in on the same vibration, and I'm struggling to split it down to where it's gone. So I think with that, that's something that I'd like to practice on, and it's boundaries for myself, and it's boundaries for spirit as well. So yeah, be quite clear when you're working with them too. I think clearing what you're looking for from them as well.
Yeah. I don't know if you could hear pinging, but that was my phone pinging away.
That's okay. That's no problem.
Yeah. I thought I switched it off. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. We're getting some sound while we talk. Ping, ping.
At least it's working. At least you can still hear me and I can hear you.
Yeah. But energy is important, and also, vibration as well. The higher vibration that you have, the better it can go. Don't get me wrong. If you've got somebody coming for a reading, they're not going to have a high vibration for a private reading, and if they're suffering through grief. But it's different in private readings than it is working in demonstrations, so
I think
you
so
know, and
too.
and it's just you and and your recipient and in spirit world, and it doesn't matter really if the vibration's low with sadness. That does not matter, because spirit are there with love.
Mm.
It's vibration with somebody that comes in and they're just wanting to you prove it to me, that
Yeah,
is a different
that's what I
energy.
meant earlier on when I was talking about that. Like if
Mhm.
someone doesn't want to be read, but they still want you to read them,
Yeah.
like they,
Uh-huh.
it's not just up to me to be a good medium.
Yeah,
Like
that's right.
the wall has to be down and the arms have to be open to it, because it can be really
Mhm.
hard to read. I'm
Uh-huh.
sure you've had it yourself.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
I don't I used to persevere with it, but now I mean I don't persevere with it anymore. If I've got someone like that, I just stop the reading and just say, I'm I'm sorry, but I can't continue with the reading. Um,
Mm.
I don't have anything to prove to anybody, so if you really don't want the reading, then there's no point in us continuing with it, so I just stop it, because it's not worth
Yeah.
it's not worth my while draining my energy to try and satisfy somebody that's only wanting one particular answer. And you just know, and usually when I say, look, I'm sorry, but I don't feel you're really here, you know, for a reason. I feel you're more here. You're very skeptic, but which is absolutely fine. But can you be a wee bit more open? Even although you're skeptic, just relax, open yourself up a little bit,
Yeah.
and allow spirit to come through and work with me,
Hmm.
for you. And if I don't get it, then I just think
Yeah.
I'm just not the medium for you, and I'll just stop the reading, because there's no point in carrying on when it's like that. There is no point.
No,
You
and you
know,
twist yourself into not, and then like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's happened to me kind of in the last few months, and I went
Mhm,
back at it the next day, and it was
mhm,
much better. But I just said today, the day that's in it, there's something, I don't know what it is. I'm not
mhm.
blaming you, and I'm not
That's
blaming
right.
me. I think I should come back. The best thing I could have done, because then when I did it again, I was really, it went so much better. So sometimes you just
Yeah,
have to step back.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have to honor spirit, and honor that it's just not the right time. It's not the right time
Yeah.
for whatever
Very good.
reason. For
Yeah.
whatever reason,
Yeah. For whatever reason. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah. So now, I know you've got a family as well. So you're a mother of two children, so you'll have your hands full there. Uh, so do they know what you do, or are they not at that age?
No, they absolutely do. Jacob is
Yeah,
11. Um, he's very open. I think he's very open to spirit too. He always has been. He doesn't really have a choice with He's
yeah.
being the way she.
Uh-huh.
But like,
Yeah.
he's so cute. He would go to school and he would say to some of the kids like, "My mom's medium," and they're like, and like, he is very open to it. He understands, like, I've cards, a gong in this room. Like, it's
Yeah.
just part of who I am. And Eva, like, she's like, I'm playing the singing bowl, so she talk
That's
about the
good.
angels a little bit, and not much because she's too
Yeah.
young, but
Yeah.
they're definitely growing up open to
Yeah.
energies and stuff like that. And I think
Which is
for
nice.
Jacob, it's not important for me now at this age that like he doesn't have to chat to me about spirit, but I always tell him to trust his gut, because I'm saying,
Mhm,
like, trust your energy, not what people say, because people say things, and but trust the feeling that you get from a person. You
mhm,
know what I mean? Because when you're growing up,
mhm,
it can be hard. I want to know that
mhm,
his gut
mhm.
feeling is his guide. It's trying to help him through life, and to be
Yeah.
fair to him, he's a great judge of character. So yeah, something is working.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's
Yeah,
lovely as well. I think it's really nice, that because they're getting, included in that love as well,
yeah,
understanding more about themselves, and understanding, if I get that feeling, that, that's okay to have that feeling, Um,
yeah.
yeah.
I always
It
say,
would
like, I'm on the
it,
sorry, God.
it would be good if we had more of that in schools, I think, as well, where, listening to your own soul and working with your own
Mm,
soul, and, just opening up a little bit with that light and energy. I think it would be lovely. You think it'd be really nice,
So do I. I are
Mhm.
very like the curriculum. Don't get me wrong. I understand that they have to follow certain criteria and stuff, but
Yeah.
I think that children are quite stifled in their growth, but because they're told to sit and learn this way, and I do think that there's no room for expression of them. They
Mhm.
have to conform to a certain standard. And for Jacob, he like taps a lot, and he kind of has to move around a bit, and I just can tell that way of learning is not 100% for him, but he's
No.
getting on with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in
Mhm.
that sense, I'm like,
Mhm.
but I think he'll get there. And with my mom, like growing up, she was always really intuitive, like really, really intuitive. So she
Mhm.
would have had really psychic dreams all the time, prophetic dreams. So they'd always come true, and I'd be like, wow. But she would tell you, like, I don't get any messages from spirit. And I'm like, you do. You just
Yeah.
don't get them in the way that you think you should get them.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
okay. So I think I definitely got the gift from my mom. But I'm
Yes.
delighted to bring it into my kids' lives, because I would have loved them to have like known about the angels when I was a child, and I just think there's great comfort in it. Like,
Yeah. 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 I think it's a good thing, I know obviously, it depends on your religion as well,
mhm,
so not all religions will honor
be
this.
open to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
I
you have to
respect that.
honor what's right for you, you know.
Yeah, I
At the
believe
end
that.
of the at the end of the day, you have to honor what's right for you. Um, yeah. Well, what's coming up then for next year? Have you booked anything yet, or?
What's coming up? We have the workshop with Orla Hart in February in the SCY, and it's a bit of mediumship. We're blending mediumship and sound healing together. So that's
Oh,
a
good.
day thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I'll be back doing the soul circles from January. So it'll be I think I'm going to go one evening a week for sound baths and once a month for soul circles. And
Mhm.
I will be offering online readings from January as well. Um, and healings in person or distance healings. I always offer them anyway. But yeah, from January we'll be going full steam ahead, because December is so busy with everything going on. So I just kind of pause this month. It's too
Yeah.
much. And I'll come
Yeah.
back to it then in January. But no, I'm looking forward to see where Spirit brings me next year. See what's
Yeah.
happening. I'll
Yeah.
just let them lead. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it exactly. Because sometimes
Yeah.
what we think is going to happen,
Yeah.
they have
And it
they have
doesn't
they
go
have
the
other
other way.
ideas. Yeah, they totally have other ideas there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
That's it.
Yeah. I've got a few things coming up. I'm just checking it out as well. On the 17th of December, I have a podcast, and it's a Christmas show podcast that I'm doing.
I've seen that. Yeah,
Did
that
you
looks
see it?
amazing.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it's going to the funds as well for the animals. Lady, I think, and her husband, they take in all these different types of animals, and animals perhaps that would not have been here, and they bring them on and get them better, look after them. And it's all in my page as well. If anybody's interested, it's on Spark of Light spiritual page as well, if anybody's interested in it. So
I'd like
I'll
to
be
join
doing,
actually. I just need to make sure that I'm free, but I'd love to pop on as a guest.
yeah.
It looks
Yeah,
gorgeous.
it's done kind of different. So the guest that's on is kind of invited on, because you're only allowed to think about 10 or 8 people on. So
Mhm.
you would be in an audience, but I can send you an audience link as well. So
Yeah.
you would definitely, and you could actually put in the chat box, etc. And so anybody is interested, we're actually now full on the invites for people coming on getting readings. But
Okay.
you can actually be on the audience link, where you can, be part of it, and type in the chat
Yeah.
box as well. And there's also phone-ins in it as well, so I'm still working out all this new production, but there's phone-ins as well for it, but we won't be using it on that particular day, but I will be using that coming up in the future. But if anybody wants to be in the audience, then I just send a link out, and they can just join in the audience and be part of the night. So yeah, so just
Lovely.
let me know. I'm just looking to find yeah. So the mediums on that night for the Christmas evening lineup is we have Frances Pierce, who's from America. We've got Jennifer Rose from America, and Nadia Bajami from Ireland, Julie Silver from England, Susan Grayson from England, Nancy Muratala from America, Jordan Richards from England, Dodie Hamilton from England, Elaine Bowler from Australia, and Miguel Gonzalez from America, who will do a little bit of spirit art, Steve Rozelle, and Debbie Romero from America and England for Steve. So we've got a good lineup there, so I'm really looking forward to it. And the proceeds are going to the Animal Sanctuary Scotland TAS.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
If anybody's interested. And we've also got another one on the 18th of December, and it's a Sparkle of Light Hogmanay show. We call Hogmanay New Year's Eve, so that's our Scottish term, Hogmanay. So it's on the 18th, it's on the 18th of December, and it will also go live on Hogmanay as well on Spotify.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, but it'll go live on the 18th too. And we've got a good lineup there as well. It's Jennifer Rose again and Debbie Romero from America. Who else have we got? Julie Dryber and Stuart Latimer. We've got Judith Miller, but Judith is on the Christmas one, not the Hogmanay one. And Jordan Richards, Jane Hutchison, Fran Pierce, Susan Brotherhood from Ireland. I don't know if you know Susan, but she's from Ireland and she's doing a talk. So there's a whole list of people coming on. So it'll be very good. So I'm looking forward to, having that and sharing that. Yeah. So it'll be live, and it'll be live on YouTube. So if anybody wants to subscribe to the channel, Spark of Light Spiritual Channel, please do so. It's so appreciated. Thank you, Tanya, for subscribing. I noticed you did that as well, so thank you.
I did. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, and also the podcast will go out on to Spotify and Apple on the Thursday at 8 o'clock. I've also got a Christmas psychic mediumship demonstration coming up on the 11th of December, which is tomorrow. I don't know where the time is going. It's flying by. And it's at Arden Cable Hotel in Shore Road in Rue. And it will be Elaine Claire Harris O'Neill who will be doing the demonstration, and myself as well. And we'll have some competitions, and be all Christmassy and really nice. So you can just turn up at the door if you wish to.
Or you wish you the best of luck.
Yeah. So there's a lot coming up. So I'm looking forward to all, sort of joining up together. And then I'm looking forward to relaxing as well. Yeah. Have you got things planned for Christmas?
I didn't say so.
No. A bit like myself.
My son is going away, so he's going with his dad. So I'm just here with the baby. I just want to do nothing.
Yeah.
Then New Year, I'll go back again.
Yeah. And Christmas, it is a time about being with your loved ones and your family, and enjoying the memories that you make, and not forgetting the memories that that you also hold dear to your heart as well, from people who are family and friends who are no longer physically with us. We can still hold that dear in our heart, and we can share that love to them, because trust me, spiritually they will be there around you. They will be there popping in, paying a visit as well. So so light a candle and just send your loving thoughts out there. We're coming to the end of the show now. So anything at all you want to say before we close?
No.
Any inspiration at all? Any inspiration?
Just thanks for having me.
No, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah. And to our listeners as well.
Let me think. Yeah, I suppose Christmas is a hard time for a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
I suppose just think of the happier times when you're getting through the Christmas period, if someone's liked, and just having a laugh, raising the vibration up, because it is hard when Christmas there's empty seats at the table and there's people not here. So yeah.
Mhm. Of course it is. Yeah, it is. But you also need to remember as well. Do you know, I've just flicked this. I've just flicked my page there, and this has just came up. I'm just going to read what it says because that just came out of the blue there. So obviously I'm meant to share this. Always remember the greatest gift you can ever own is not found in the shops or under your Christmas tree. It is found in the hearts of your loving family and your true friends. So that just came up there. So I always believe nothing is coincidental. Spirit
And
wanted to share that, so I'm sharing that.
no, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. That was lovely, and it was meant to be. Meant to be.
Yeah. You're very welcome.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I
Oh,
will just close on
thanks,
this, but
Alan.
we will if anybody's interested at all, your email, what was your email again, Tanya? Tanya's
It's
frozen, I
O'Shea.
think.
So
Yeah,
OSET
Tanya's frozen. Yeah.
BDE09@gmail.com.
It'll all be there anyway. It's all written and it'll all be there on my page, and
Sorry.
it'll be on YouTube as well. You know, so everything will all be there. And we've lost Tanya. Poor Tanya's disappeared. So the internet's obviously crashed. So it'll all be on YouTube. It'll be on Spotify on the 24th of December, where it will go live on there. And all the information will be there too if anyone wants to get in touch with Tanya, if you're wanting a little bit of a wee bit of collaboration with her, a reading perhaps, or just further information about any of her courses or workshops that she'll be doing coming up. Oh, you're back again. I lost you. She's back. Now you see her and now you don't. So welcome back, Tanya. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but can you hear me? Yeah. You're smiling. We'll take your smile. Okay. All right. So I'd like to say to everybody, have a lovely day or an evening wherever you are, and look after yourself and each other. Till next time. Bye-bye.